What's up, guys? I wanted to make a video about core data and CloudKit because this has been a huge challenge for a long time before iOS 13 came around. If you use core data and you want it to persist among several of the user's devices, you have to roll your own system of keeping track of who's who, or you have to be able to map each of your core data objects to a CloudKit object, which is a CK record, which is its whole other thing. You can't just load your core data objects to CloudKit. Until iOS 13 came around, and we have this new thing called NSPersistentCloudKitContainer. Now this is a replacement for the NSPersistentContainer that we had before, which was just persisting core data objects on the device. So really you just replace, well, not just really, there's a couple things you have to do, but it's really simple. And I'm going to walk you through it, and I'm also going to provide you with the code that I'm using here so you can grab it and see how it works for yourself from GitHub, okay? One of the things that's always been a challenge for an independent developer like me is I don't want to do database work or back-end work or manage any of that. I don't want to download Firebase. So the fact that Apple did this is amazing, and it's a big game changer. It really allows us to do a lot more with our apps with a lot less code, a lot less worries and bugs. So there's two ways of doing this. If you're creating a new project, you just click on the Use CloudKit option when you're creating your project. However, if you didn't do that, really all that does is it creates your persistent container as a CloudKit persistent container rather than a regular one. I think that's the only thing that checkbox does, because there are a couple other things that you have to do. So once that's done and you verified that your container is a CloudKit container, you want to go to background modes. If you don't have that capability already for your target, add that as a capability, and then make sure that you have remote notifications checked. This allows your CloudKit persistence to update in the background. And then you want the iCloud capability, and you want to select CloudKit, and you want to make sure that you have a valid container chosen here. And in your core data code, so not only do we have a CloudKit container, you want to make sure that your view context from that container has automatically merges changes from parent set to true. So that is what causes any fetched result controller you use to get updated remotely. Really, I mean, the only trick is you just use a fetch result controller. If you don't use that, I don't know of a good way of doing this. There's probably some tricks you could do, but if you use an NS fetched results controller as your table view source, it will get a callback to let you know that data was updated. So let's say you're using the results controller. You just want to make sure that you are the delegate of that fetch results controller, okay? So in my view model, this is where I hold all that. I create it just like any other fetch result controller, make myself the delegate, and then the only delegate method I use from that is here, and it's the controller did change content. So really that just gets called when there is an update to our data. So I have a delegate, which is the controller here. So my view model is telling my controller that the data did update. So then in my controller, I'm just reloading data on my table view. So that makes it to where anytime we get an update, we just update the table data and it's there. But really that is it, okay? If you do those four things, so okay, you're gonna use the CloudKit container. You set automatically merges changes from parent to true on your view context. You make the check mark for remote notifications. You make the check mark for CloudKit in its container, and you use a fetched result controller. 5 things, and you should be golden. Now, one disclaimer is this doesn't work in the simulator. So even if you have 2 simulators up and they're both signed into an iCloud account, they still don't work. And another disclaimer, it is not fast, okay? So if you're using this for something that should be real time, it's about a 20-second delay from my experience. Yeah, you wanna keep that in mind for what you're using it for. Okay? So in this example app, since I'm like a huge Tesla fan, I am going to be able to add and remove Tesla products from my Tesla shopping cart. So it's like a Tesla shopping cart app, I guess. So let's go to the Tesla website here, and let's get a Model 3 going. I definitely want a performance. White interior, of course. And there we go, 64,990. Okay. So we're getting a Model 3, we'll say performance. And it was 64,990. Add. Okay, let's see if it works. There, see, super long time. So add, delete, anything like that works here. We can add one from this side. I'll probably speed this up. There it is. All right, so look at that. CloudKit works. It's just really slow. Okay, so like not much work. You might have to fiddle around with the settings to get that to work. But like I showed, it's just a couple steps, and it is something that can really replace a lot of work. If you've ever tried to map a core data model to a CloudKit model, it just sucks. So I'm super stoked that Apple did this. It's supposed to even work between watchOS and iOS, so you can share a core data model there, and then that's another way of syncing up data between the watch and the phone. Another option that we have there. But again, I'll have a link to this project in a GitHub repo below, so feel free to take that and play with it if you want to. I would love to answer any questions you guys might have about this. I know I'm going to be using this in my projects from here on out. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this and that it made sense. And I think that's about it. Catch you in the next one.